what's good, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to the closing beat. Hope you had a great week so far. This is our stock market update show where we cover the good and the bad and the ugly about the overall stock market. We're going to cover all of that here today. If you're one of our customers, you got the dojo to kind of participate in there. I'll show you real quick if you haven't seen it. This is our video library. Well, you can only see part of the page there, but this is where we house all of the classes that we've done for customers only with different categories, whether it be personal finance, wine and wealth. It could be all kinds of great stuff. There's a lot of geeky things in there as well. If you're not one of our customers, maybe you'll check us out at Jazz Wealth. If not, and you just kind of like tuning in, that's cool too. Maybe you'll hit the subscribe button. See how I ask you for something no matter what? Selfish guys. Anyways, here we go. We're going to dive right into this because there's not really a lot to cover. If you've been paying attention this week, then you're caught up to speed. I mean, as far as telling you what was going to happen with the markets this week, I think we pretty much nailed it there. So we'll just go ahead and dive right in. You see on the right hand side of your screen the stock market performance today, mostly negative on the day until right before the end of the day when we got a little pop into the close. That chart that you see on the bottom hand right side of your screen, that's a 5-minute chart, shows every 5 minutes what the S&P 500 did for the day. You can see that under that red dashed line means it was a negative day. But what happened right there at the very end of the day, you got to pop up into the positive just by a point or two, not really that big of a deal. So the Dow lower by 63. Your trade stocks in the Dow were the ones that held you back a little bit. Have to do with the trade war, ongoing trade war. S&P 500 about 2 points on the day and 10 on the Nasdaq. Tech did okay today. We'll cover some of that as we go. Let's dive into it here. So let's get into the charts. If you like looking at charts, that's not the right button. Let's try the right button. There we go. I sort of mocked this up for you a little bit today. The gray area that you see on your charts there, that is basically no man's land. And we talked about this yesterday, that technical traders call the sort of pinch between the 200-day moving average, which is this red line, and the blue line down here, which is the 50-day moving average. They call this no man's land. You can see when a stock gets into that no man's land here and back over here, and look at any stock in general, there's not a lot, right? There's just not a lot to go on. There's no real consistency to the market's overall patterns. So I kind of drew a little box so we could say that basically anything in here is irrelevant, it's chop, it's boring, it's sort of insignificant in the short term. Now, the way we finished today with that push to highs towards the end of the day sort of indicates that the markets are interested in trying to burst through that 200-day moving average yet again. It's very normal for a market to run up into a flat 200-day moving average and not make it through the first time. In fact, if you make it through the first time, it's sort of suspect. A great example of that is semiconductors. If you look at those, maybe we'll dig in there in a second. Anyways, if we do back up here and burst through it again, we basically just have another ceiling right above here in this little range. I'm going to leave this guy on here so you can kind of see what we'll be working with should we break up to those highs. That's the S&P 500. Basically, a pullback here is warranted. Short-term traders would not panic. Long-term investors would not care. So basically, we're in this mode of like, hey, show me some goods. Show me some goods, market. Tell me what you're going to do next. The Nasdaq looks very similar in no man's land. We've got a lot of room to work there. I didn't mark this one up for you, but it's kind of the same story. If we break through the 200-day moving average, you got about 148 points that gets you to the next sort of resistance area there. And so not a big deal. The Russell 2000 still playing catch up a little bit. Percentage-wise, it's killing it, but visually, when you look at a chart, it still seems like it's way behind. So you would say that was a relatively weak area of the markets there. So that's the overall stock markets. Let's go through the sectors here. You know why the markets have pulled back. We talked about the banks losing some steam on Wednesday and hinting at the idea. If you want to be the person that says, did Dustin tell me ahead of time there what to expect, you can go back and see. It looks as though maybe it's a little bit frozen here. I can tell you can still hear me. So it should kick back in there in a second. I'll just keep talking. Whatever. The computer's obviously saying Friday is just not the day here. So let me see if I can pull this out of the way. Yeah, there you go. We can pull it out of the way and switch back over here for just a second. Okay, so that's that. The banking stocks continue to pull back here. A little bit of recovery towards the end of the day. That helped the markets there as well. Semiconductors, very much the same thing. So we'll cover maybe that next week or so. Take a look at the semiconductors if you get a moment. I'm going to just play here for a second and see if this thing is catching up. Maybe not wanting to play today. Yeah, I think it's pretty much given up on the day. Sorry for that. We'll give it a try here in just a minute and see. I wonder why it does that. Nope, it just doesn't want to play today. So we're going to continue and go forward with this here the way it is. Regional banks, by the way, if you follow the regional banks, they held in there. Remember we had yesterday the BB&T SunTrust merger. Well, basically every analyst on the planet thinks that there's going to be more of that, right? That everybody's going to start merging and working together to try to go after the big banks there. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Consumer staples had a good day on the day. If you look up Procter & Gamble, sorry I can't show the charts. The thing is busted. I wonder if I could just do it like this. Nope, that won't work either. Consumer staples had a good day. Procter & Gamble, that's one that's in our consumer staples fund on our website. It's also in our dividend fund. That did well. Philip Morris, we also own that. That helped as well. Bonds had 4 straight days in a row where yields were lower, moving lower, so it's good if you're looking for lower rates. Stock-wise, we've got Hasbro. The company, we talked about this one. Company reported earnings much better than expected by like 31 cents, by the way. So that stock doing well there. Or sorry, the company doing well. The stock could do a little bit better there. Toys R Us was a big focus for them. You know, they sort of lost their buddy when Toys R Us went bankrupt. So that's Hasbro. COTY, these guys make makeup. COTY is the symbol. COTY had a great day. I believe this was its best day ever on record. Up 32% on the day. Double-digit gain, double-digit sales, growth, earnings, however you want to say it. They killed it. They've been moving into more expensive, how do you say that? They've been moving into the luxury end of things, and that's paying off for them. They are continuing to move off more for them. The CEO said that they still have work to do to get on the path to profitability. If you look up the fundamentals of this company, they lose money. So careful there. Expedia shares much higher today on the day. EXPE is the symbol if you're playing along at home. A little extended here in the short term. Gross bookings increased by 11%. Sales higher by 18%. The stock was higher by almost 10% for just this week. So you kind of understand how far and how fast it moved. You don't need to see a chart of that one. Did you see what happened to EA, by the way? If you're playing along, pull up some charts there at home. I'm sorry I can't share them with you, but Electronic Arts, they had earnings the other day. The stock sort of cratered all in one day. The CEO went all over TV. We talked about this on Wednesday, saying, you guys got it wrong. We're doing great. I thought earnings was a beat. He was essentially giving us a hint. They announced today 10 million users for that Apex Legends game, which they got 10 million users in only 3 days. So stock price higher by 16% today, completely erasing everything it lost on Wednesday, completely erasing everything and actually turning positive on the year. Amazing reversal there. All anybody's really talking about today is Amazon and old Jeff Bezos taking those pictures there. I'm not going to get into that. Company-wise, I don't really care. Obviously, he's a great leader. He's a great CEO. Had some missteps apparently in his personal life, and now he's fighting tooth and nail to sort of combat people pushing him around. And why not? He's got billions of dollars. Go for it. Estee Lauder. We covered this one on earnings day. That one's headed back to highs. I thought for sure that would pull back a little bit. I don't care because we own it in our large cap fund on our website there. So I don't care that it didn't pull back. I'm happy for you and happy for our customers that it is moving back to highs. Nice. Really just a nice move on that stock. Great bounce. Looks like it's going to break out of a really wide range. So we'll see. We'll keep following it there for you. Skechers comes up as one. If you look at stocks that had bigger moves for the day, gained about 15% on the day. Gap fill. That's what I'll leave you with there. Filling the gap potentially from last April. At least today was a good start for that. Beat on earnings. They missed on revenue, but they had sales of $1.08 billion, which is a record. They've never done that in a quarter. 1 quarter. They sold that many shoes. I'm wearing the shoes. I buy Skechers all the time. Crazy. Basically, in other news, non-chart related, Wells Fargo, these poor guys, they went down yesterday. They said that most ATMs and mobile banking is online and everything's good to go so you can access your accounts if you had some problems yesterday. And what was the one I was going to point out? Something interesting. Was it a pot? No, Bitcoin. Bitcoin popped higher today, 255 points up to 7.63% another attempt maybe to come off the lows. The key to that one, by the way, will be tomorrow. If you look at a chart and you happen to pay attention to these things, every time it blasted off in one day, it got erased the next day. So, you know, not so good there. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, but I obviously am just fighting through whatever technical difficulties we've got here. Got a new camera coming, by the way. We're going to not have to deal with this stuff going forward. Got a sort of a nicer camera coming. Expedia, yeah, I mean, it's obviously doing well. The company, from a fundamental perspective, really doing well. In the short term, you'd be hard-pressed to say, let me buy it here, right? I can't tell you what to do, but if you look at it and you go, all right, you get 10% gain all in 1 week, a little rocket ship move higher with overhead resistance now proven to you, I would say I think you would be able to get it cheaper, or I would be interested in hoping that I could get it cheaper. Yeah. Tan wants the markets to come back a little bit more. Give it time. Give it time. Give it time. Q&A Fridays with Dustin. Sure. I'll answer questions any day, but I like that idea. I actually thought about making Fridays more of a just a general update, what happened throughout the week. Maybe who cares about what happened today? Fridays are kind of boring, especially in the months of February. Fridays in February, by the way, are some of the most boring days you can have if you like to follow all that weird, geeky stuff. What's the opinion on buying travel/tourism stocks out there? I mean, if it's a good deal and it fits what you're trying to do, I don't mind at all. I've seen some of the news on that Royal Caribbean and Carnival. I like Royal Caribbean a little bit better if I had to choose between them. Expedia, we just commented on that. In the short term, it is pretty extended, so that's a tough one there to go diving into right now. PG&E Corp, I walk away from stocks like this. There's a lot of news that I don't understand. I'm not a hero. I like reading and learning about all this stuff. I do happen to pay attention to a lot. I do not know enough about what is currently going on at PG&E to say that that makes any sense whatsoever. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a stock file bankruptcy and basically stay and go up on the day they file bankruptcy. So I'm not going to pretend that that I understand that. He calling Bitcoin old technology, man. Actually, JP Morgan invested in something the other day, sort of a transparent open banking system. It was a company out of London, I believe, if you want to look it up. That was pretty cool. Yep. Hey, look, a lot of the categories in the market, just answering some of your questions here, like oil, I don't want to say that these are in no man's land, but they're essentially just chopping around waiting for more direction. We need more news on the economic slowdown. They want more news as far as OPEC and what they say versus what they actually do. Oil is kind of not no man's land, but I've been calling it the comfort zone. It's right in its comfort zone, $50 to $54, where everybody's just kind of happy to hold their position or not sell, right? Because there's no real reason. So for me, there's just no trend. We didn't get any information this week, price-wise or news-wise, that helps you decide. That's a tough one. Yep. What do you think about NYC shying away from Amazon? Hey, that's for the people in New York to decide. I can understand frustration as far as the incentives that they've been given. Could you say that any other area of the United States wouldn't have done the same thing? That's a tough one. Yep. I like how the guy said, we need Amazon. Like he was essentially calling out to Jeff Bezos, like, hey, put this whole picture thing behind you for a moment. Don't forget us over here in New York. Nice. Blockchains. Don's got his focus on blockchain. I like it. I appreciate that, Matthew. Okay. Well, I apologize for the charts today. I don't know. Maybe I fired this thing up a little too early. But that's okay, because it's Friday. We had a great week as far as covering everything for you. I don't think we missed a whole lot. That's what we'll continue to do here. If we helped you in some way, yeah, hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down if you don't like it. That's cool, too. I only cry at night when you guys do that, but that's okay. We'll keep trying to make it better here and improve, and I appreciate all you guys watching. Have a great rest of your day, and, of course, a great weekend. Back to work for me.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.
Hey, wait! Before you go watch one of our other great videos, have you had a chance to see our new Fin Tips videos? They focus on one topic at a time, covering investing, personal finance, and anything that can quickly help you with your dough. Best of all, we'll keep it real short, because we know time is money.